Here are basic interview question. Answer any of 8 of this question. First question. Hi, my name is Shainna Jane, but you can call me Ina. I am jolly and a humble person too. For me as a person, I would like to strive harder to reach my goal. Second question. Why did you apply for this job? I applied for this job because I know my ability and skill will be better showcased for this company. Third question. What are some of your strengths? I have an excellent communication skill, verbal communication skill that I can showcase to the company, and also I am a good active listener. Fourth question. What are a few of your weaknesses? One of my weaknesses for being pressure in tasks or in workloads. However, I always taught myself to manage how to overcome pressure in my workloads and in my tasks. Simply, I will vary my tasks or workload. It depends on the days. And also, I would dedicate some days for the very important tasks that I really need to have some focus so I could possibly finish it as soon as I can. Fifth question. In your opinion, what is your ideal company? Ideal company is the people you surround. It's the family that surrounds you, which is the most important for me is a flexible work environment. I would like to showcase my ability and skills to this company so that I can learn and they can learn from my experience. What makes you want to work for this company? I would like to work for this company to showcase my ability and skills so that I could share my thoughts and opinion and my experience as well, so that I could share it to my colleagues, to the people surrounds of the company. I know I can contribute my knowledge for this company. What makes you the best candidate for this job? I am the best candidate for this job because I know the fact that I do have an experience that I can showcase, that I can relate for this company. So I can do acknowledge the same thing once I learned from this company. Why should we hire you? You should hire me as your employee here in your company because I think I would be a good help. I could showcase my skill. I could grow more here in your company. Experience that I have will be showcased in here. What have you made as a salary in the past? For my previous work, I have a salary range in 27,000 as an entry-level call center agent. Behavioral interview question. Answer any 9 of these questions. First question, have you ever given an assignment that was too difficult for you? What was your solution and why? Yes, I do actually have task which is I do handle, and that is an old people or senior citizens that are so frustrated paying their bills. They cannot handle much stress in calling over the phone. So I do overcome it. I do solve. How I overcome to solve their problem? First thing I do is to elaborate it slowly so that they can understand every situation of their problem and indicate what is the most important part of your call. A very important solution of senior citizen or old people are calling to, and especially is having patience with old people is a virtue for me, because if you don't have that, then you can never give the solution. Tell me about an instance when you had to deal with conflict in the workplace. There is one time there is a storm or a flood. I thought I could not work because the flood is crossing our street, but I already thought earlier, or I already think that there would be a possibility that I would not work, or I cannot report to work. So what I did is, as early as I can, I go to the office so that even the storm will continue or not, the flood will continue or not, I can still report to work. Give me an example of a time when you made a mistake on your work and how did you handle it? One of the mistakes that I've learned a lot for that is when I gave the wrong information to the customer, and what I've done is to correct the situation to the right details. I'm very much vigilant to the things that I say to the clients. I need to advise them what was the right thing. I would advise what is the wrong thing that I did as well, so that they are aware from what's happening at the same time. How would you handle a situation where you were required to complete multiple tasks by the end of the day, but it would be impossible to finish all of them. However, a time management is what I should be needing to properly organize. If you discover that your company was doing something illegal, like fraud, what would you do? Firsthand, I should observe what they're doing before reporting to authority, because this is something that I can handle just by myself. I need someone help, but with the help of the authority, I can deal with it. How do you approach giving someone difficult feedback? Maybe what I will do is to start telling them that the good things that they done before I lead to them their opportunities or things to work on. Have you ever been a part of a team where there is a member not doing their part? How did you react? Yes, I've experienced to have that team. Yes, I have experienced to have a team member, and what I've done is to talk to my manager, and about it, she or he will be aware what they can do as a member and who is not participating as a team member. Describe a time when your work or performance was criticized. When I do join, I remember in a Halloween party, I created a makeup Halloween costume, and they do criticize me because they see that it's not that good. But for me, I did my best. I know that this is what I am good at. So at the end, I do win at the contest for that makeup artist. Give me an example of a time that you showed leadership. I experienced leadership when we encountered a hardship during a training. I stood up and become a voice of my team to show that they do have a problem, they do have a thoughts to share so that they could address it right away. And I'm really glad that I am one of the leader that stood up to showcase and the voice of the team. How do you manage stress? For me, I manage the stress is practice deep breathing, because if you deep breathe, then you can release the toxicity of the body so we can move on and work as fresh. If you were hired, what kinds of goals would you initially have? If I do hard for this company, my goals in life is to help my family and also to gain more knowledge from this company. So in the near future, I could be more skillful employee. When it comes to career development, how are you hoping to grow? For me as an employee is to gain more knowledge, product knowledge. If you hired for this job, what would your strategy be for the first 90 days? For me, I would like to showcase what I learned from the training. I would like to see what they teach me, what is my learning, and I would like to acknowledge all of their activities that they tried to assess us, and then I will apply it into 90 days that we are on production floor. And from there, I would be more productive. I would showcase what is my skill, and I would showcase them what is my knowledge and what I learned from the training. If you had an opportunity to choose any superpower, what would you choose and why? For me, my superpowers that I would like to have is like a time machine, because I want to go back from where it started so I could see how could I resolve the possible problem on the near future, because I really would like to help the people. I want to see what is the possibility that I could do when I go back to the past, and when can I go to the future so I could be more helpful to the present people. What animal would you want to be and why? For me, since I am Year of the Tiger, I would love to be a tiger as myself, because It's observant, aggressive at the same time, playful, humble, and what would you like to achieve? And for me, I would like to have that kind of I would like to have that skill, and I would like to have that attitude. As why do tennis balls have a fuzz? I think for me, that's why there is a fuzz of the tennis ball to pertain the slipperiness of the specific ball. And also, if you played it without the fuzz, then technically the specific ball will be slippery, and it would not good as without the fuzz, because the fuzz gives the other texture that you can have, and that texture would really help to have the game completely smooth. If you could remove any province in the Philippines, which would you choose and why? For me, if I am given a chance to remove one of the province here in the Philippines, I would suggest that I would remove the Mindanao part. Specifically, where is the ISIS from? If you could remove any province in the Philippines, which would you choose and why? For me, the province that I would remove is the Marawi in Mindanao, because there is a lot of PA and a lot of and there is a lot of people that's anti-government from there. So I think that is the province that I would get off in the Philippines, just to maintain and help the Philippines in peace. Describe your favorite childhood memory. For me, my childhood memory is the best that I think of is when we had a family dinner at Macapagal, because from there we really having fun eating at the seaside. There's no MOA yet at that year, but I do understand the family bonding at that moment, because we're happy, we're eating at the same time, and we're laughing at each other. What do you like to do in your free time? For me, in my free time, I would do what is productive for me as well. First thing, I do blogging, and also I do some of my productive social media as not big influencer, but as an YouTube influencer as well. So I do productive things from there, and if I do really have some free time, I would bonding with my family. I would spend it with my family. What kind of things do you do for fun? Me, what I did is I'm having fun when I do productive things, and also I do have fun when I am on vacation, especially with my family and loved one. Who are your personal heroes and why? For me, as of now, my heroes will be my family, because they save me from a lot of things, especially my mom and dad. They do save me not just from my beneficial, financial, but mentally. They save me. Is the first thing you would do if you were to win the lottery? First thing that I would do is I would have to help my families, and then I will put it onto the business, and I would help it to the charity, so that my positivity will spread out, not just for me and my family, but I will share it to the charity that who really needs. What is your favorite movie that you've seen this year? For me, the movie that I would love is The Seven Sundays, because it's the movie for the family. There is a lot of lesson that you can see on that movie, and you can learn, and also you can absorb it from that movie. What is your life mission statement? My life mission statement is time is gold. Well, that is an old fashioned, but for me, it's really worked. The time that you're having right now is just a present. You need to use your time as useful as possible, so that you could at least conquer what you would like to do on your life. That's why for me, time. Tell me about your lifelong aspiration And what do you enjoy doing? My lifelong aspiration is just to reach my specific goals, to strive harder so that I could be a more productive employee, not just for the company but for the family. I would love to have not so much reach for my family, but I would love to have the enlightful and not so stressful life for my family, for my loved ones, and also for me as well. See yourself as a detail oriented person, as a big picture person. Yes, of course, because um, my family taught me how to be more disciplined and oriented person. What tools and strategies do you use to stay organized? I think the tools that I would be using is an organizer, especially, and the strategies is to make sure that my things are always clean and sanitized. For me, my work style will be organized, sequential, planned, and detail oriented because I want everything is organized. What is the last book that you read? The last book that I read is a book of Revelation. That is a Bible, and when you read the Bible, you are feeding your soul. For me, that is the thing that I need the most, especially when I'm down, when I'm weak, and when I'm fragile. And you need to call God to help you to get you out from stress, for being burned out from your work. And that is the last book that I read, to feed my soul, to enlighten me. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? For me, I would go to Iceland because I would like to see the little borealis, because for me, if I can see the borealis, it seems that um, there is a magical in the sky, and I really would love to see that. And I think Iceland is a big picture that you can see just through the internet. That's why I would like to go there, because there's a lot of waterfalls, adventures that I would like to experience as well. And I would love to have it as one of the big picture memory in my travel.